Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzy Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. It's wonderful to have you along for the ride. I really want to talk about Jahan Dotson. That was a phenomenal pickup by Howie Roseman. We had talked earlier in the week about how the rumors are out there about not Jahan Dotson, but in particular, but the rumors are out there regarding the Eagles. Their number one target as far as bringing somebody in from the outside was trying to improve their number 3 wide receiver. They haven't been too impressed with what they've been seeing there at training camp. John Ross hasn't helped his case. Obviously, Paris Campbell has been banged up a little bit. Hasn't helped his case in the process. And I guess they don't like my man Nada. I don't know what the problem is there, but they don't like him. But if you're telling me I can have those 3 guys or Jahan Dotson, I'm taking Jahan Dotson. And I am very excited that Jahan Dotson is now the number 3 wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie Roseman, kudos to you, good sir. That is a wonderful pickup. And I am stoked that now everywhere you look in the skilled positions for the Philadelphia Eagles, they got a guy. They got a guy that you have confidence in that can make a play. It's real. I can't remember the last time I was this confident in the Philadelphia Eagles offense. I honestly, I look back on it. Nelson Aguilar breaking out kind of in that Super Bowl run year, that was spectacular. Alshon Jeffrey, loved him as a wide receiver. When they got Jay Ajayi in the backfield, I was stoked. Like, not even close. Like, I would have to go all the way back to T.O. just joining the Philadelphia Eagles for me being as excited to see what the offense was going to do when the season started. And I know most of the guys are the same from last year. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, obviously. Oh, my goodness. I look at this, and I just can't get over the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles have this stacked in offense. And I want the season to start tonight. Forget about Brazil in a couple weeks. Now, I want it now. I want to see it now. That's how excited I am now about this Philadelphia Eagles offense. And I was already excited about it. I was like, nah, if they don't make a trade for the number 3 wide receiver, I still really like everything else they got. And then Howard's like, I see a blemish. Wave his magic wand and make a trade. And Jahan Dotson all of a sudden becomes your wide receiver number 3. And he fell out of favor with Dan Quinn and company and Cliff Kingsbury in Washington. Howie, oh, how you wow me. You know what I'm saying? But we will get to that conversation. But did you ever hear anything just so stupid that you're like, hold on a second. You're either talking to someone who said something really, really stupid, and they might have caught themselves. Hey, let me give you another opportunity here. Let me give you a second chance because you just said something really stupid. Let's walk it back for a second. Can you say that again? And the person's like, what? And he said, you just said this. And then they're like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I meant that. I'm like, okay, all right. That's just making sure. Todd Zalecki last night was talking to Trey Turner. Now, the game was on Fox, so it wasn't the normal NBC coverage that we normally get. And I'm going through the internet before the show, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm trying to find a press conference, I want to hear what the guys were saying after. I don't want to just read quotes to you, And I see Trey Turner in a short for NBC Sports Philadelphia. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I punch it up, beep, bop, bop, and I couldn't believe what Trey Turner had said. Now, I didn't want to start with, technically, I just started with Jahan Dotson. I didn't want to start with the Philadelphia Phillies losing 2 out of 3 to the Atlanta Braves in a 3-game series there in Atlanta and giving them life. Anyway, I don't want to start with it, but Trey Turner said something last night that I thought was, if it was a point deduction system for saying the wrong thing, like you're looking for someone to say the right thing after you just had an embarrassing series where you couldn't hit. If you fell, what is it? You couldn't hit water if you fell out of a boat. I'm listening to Trey Turner, and I'm like, just say something that gives me some optimism going into this Kansas City Royals series. Say something that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, Trey Turner. And I did not. It's fine. It's not. Are you concerned about it? No, I'm not concerned. It's weird. I'm going to play it for you right now. So let me just set the scene. Phillies lose 2 or 3. to the Braves. Now, I want to clarify. They lost 2 or 3 to the Braves that were healthy enough to play baseball. That's like 7 guys. It's like in total. And I know they always say, "Oh, the other team gets paid too." Well, it felt like the Braves had interns. Like they're down to interns playing. So I don't know if some of those guys are getting paid, but anyway, they should be because they beat the Phillies 2 out of 3. And Lord knows that the Phillies are their lineup is stacked with guys getting a lot of money. But I'm watching it and I'm like, "Oh, this is a terrible series. Phillies suck, can't hit." Yeah, why don't give Alec Boehm a day off? And when your offense is struggling this much. Let's put Weston Wilson at third base, something he's only done one other time in his brief big league career. And I believe 6 times in the minor leagues last year. Yeah, let's put him at third base and see how that goes. Fail. So I'm like, I want some words of comfort from the clubhouse after the game. I want somebody to say something that's like, all right, you know what, maybe they're going to figure this out. I'm grasping at straws at this point, hanging on to any semblance of hope for the Phillies. In walks Trey Turner to the clubhouse. And Todd Zalecki catches up with him. And I think you hear the line of questioning here. This is courtesy of NBC Sports Philadelphia. Tell me how this makes you feel, Philadelphia Phillies fans. Again, courtesy of NBC Sports Philadelphia.
I think all of us in general, it's kind of weird that we're all struggling at the same time. Normally when you have a good lineup, some guys here or there, but it's kind of weird that a lot of us are there.
So how do you look at that? Is that like a concern for you guys with 35 games to play? Or?
I don't think it's a concern. It's more weird, for us. I don't think it's anything, we're necessarily doing wrong. We're preparing. We do all our stuff we normally do. We're, having fun. We got a good mindset. We're just not clicking. And, there's still time left. Obviously, we want to play well. But, it's starting to get to that, point in the season where it's play well or go home type deal. And I don't think we're under any stress or pressure or anything like that. But more so, we just want to play well. We know what we're capable of, and we expect it out of ourselves.
Was all that just said out loud to a reporter into microphones? Was all that just said? Not concerned? It's just weird? I'll let me say this. A player comes out and be like, "Yeah, it's weird that we're all struggling at the same time. It's crazy." He says that once. I counted 3 weirds. There are 3 weirds said. Then he gets asked about, "Are you concerned at all?" I'm like, "I'm not concerned." He comes back with another weird. I believe that was weird number 3, or as I'll refer to it as weird from the top rope from Trey Turner. The pressure, yeah, no pressure. Just it's weird. For those that weren't scoring at home, I did you a favor. The Phillies' top 3 guys in this series against the Braves. There, we had an opportunity to just put them out of their misery and take away all hope. Maybe you sweep them and we're like, we're not going to let an Ozzy Albies Braves team, Ronald Acuna-less Braves team, and an Austin Riley-less Braves team, and a Spencer Strider-less Braves team. We're not going to. Oh, and a Ronaldo Lopez who just came off the IL. We're not going to let that team push us around. You lost the series 2 or 3. You scored 1, 4, 6. 6 runs in 3 games against this Brave squad. All right. And hitting wise, as far as just getting hits, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, 2 for 33 in the series. 2 for 33 in the series. 60 batting average with 14 strikeouts. I mentioned in game 1 against Ronaldo Lopez that Kyle Schwarber never looked more. I've never seen him look more lost. Never. He would have had better odds in game 1 of this series if he just went up to the batter's box with a blindfold on. Yeah, good times. He struck out 4 times in that game, by the way. Last night, he at least walked twice. He also struck out twice. So That's 6 of his strikeouts right there. 7 total strikeouts in this series. His 1 RBI he had was a ground out. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. 1 RBI. Yeah, 2 RBI. Excuse me. Trey Turner did have an RBI on sac fly, so there's that as well. The Phillies, for those that don't, you want to talk about weird? The Phillies were a Weston Wilson away from being swept by the Braves. Like, I hate to play the ifs game because Lord knows you don't need it right now, and the fact that you already lost 2 or 3, why not pile on? But if Weston Wilson didn't get a double on the leadoff double in the 8th inning 2 nights ago, you ain't winning this ball game. Or excuse me, you ain't winning a ball game in this 3-game series. And the best way for Trey Turner to talk about it is to say that it's weird. It's weird, folks. It's weird. It's weird now that the Atlanta Braves are 6 games behind the Phillies right now with a little bit more than a month to play in baseball. It's weird that this Phillies lineup can't hit anything right now, and you literally had to rely on a guy who got called up 20 minutes ago in Weston Wilson to save your asses in game 2 of this series. And then it's even more weird that your manager, knowing the offensive struggles that this team has been having, decides, you know what? Tonight, going into the game last night. Tonight's the night to give Alec Boehm a day off. That didn't really rub me the wrong way. I guess because I expected it. T-Mac and Ruben Morrow Jr. were talking about during the broadcast 2 nights ago about how they're looking to give Alec Boehm a day off, but they didn't want to do it while he was in the midst of this streak of getting on base in 36 consecutive games. To a point, I get it, but I really want this team to not have to rely on one move to derail them in a game. And it's not just that one move, because that would just be like, oh, what a fluke. You were talking about weird? How about a fluke? Oh, we didn't have Alec Boehm in this one game, and all of a sudden the Phillies only scored 1 run, 2 runs, whatever it is. Oh, offense has been red hot. That's weird. And you only take one guy out of the lineup and everybody else falls apart. That's weird. Now that's weird. This is now a model of consistency when looking at what the Philadelphia Phillies have been doing since the All-Star break. They are god-awful since the All-Star break. And I know the question came up in the National Series about the Phillies being back. And I told you guys, at the time when people are, oh, are the Phillies back? Are the Phillies back? I'm like, okay, well, here's what I know. They're back to beating crappy baseball teams. That they're not as crappy as some of those crappy baseball teams. And here the Phillies are playing a team that's supposed to be crappy, but the Atlanta Braves just hold that kryptonite in their hands when it comes to the Phillies. And it seems like they have broken off little pieces of that kryptonite and handed it out around all of baseball. For some reason, the Dodgers haven't gotten it. I don't know why the Dodgers haven't gotten it, but the Dodgers haven't gotten it. This has been really an embarrassing run for the Phillies. And I mean, weird? No. Embarrassing? Yeah. Concerning? Absolutely. It's the 23rd of August. The Philadelphia Phillies right now are in a situation where it is, I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and say it's likely that they lose the division, but it is sure as hell possible. And you're talking about a lineup right now since the All-Star break where guys that you relied on as regular starters have not come through for you. Brandon Marsh, 167 since the break. That's what he's hitting. Bryce Harper, 203. Trey Turner, 211. Bryson Stott, 222. Not that far off from what he was doing in the regular season anyway, in the first half of the season. JT Realmuto, 232. Kyle Schwarber, 241 is actually good for him. And he's hit 9 home runs. So, Kyle Schwarber, I'm not that mad at you, but this was a terrible series. Those are the guys that you're supposed to be depending on in this lineup as regular starters. Terrible. And the one guy who has actually kept very similar numbers from the first half of the season to the second half of the season, Alec Boehm, got a day off yesterday. You're playing the Braves. And, Rob Thompson was asked about it after the game last night about, do you have an opportunity? Did you feel like you had an opportunity to really take away all hope from the Braves? He's like, I'm more concerned with our club. And I'm like, oh, good. Somebody's concerned with your club. At least Rob Thompson said the right thing. I'm very concerned about this Phillies ball club. Because here's the other thing. The Mets are playing really good baseball. They get a couple of walk-off wins there against the Orioles. They win again yesterday. The Braves just got a shot of life in them. Congratulations to the Braves on that. Oh, that's got to feel great. The Yankees are just continuing to mash in the American League. Like, for me, it's not about being the best team in baseball. And haven't the Braves taught us this recently? That it's not about being the best in the regular season. Haven't the Mets taught us this recently? It's not about being the best in the regular season. It's about the team that's getting hot at the right time, getting into the playoffs. Phillies certainly proved that point 2 years ago. Last year, they certainly had a lot of struggles at the end, but they pulled it out and were able to clinch that wild card berth again. So are the Phillies just waiting for September now to flip the proverbial switch? Are they waiting to face the Braves in 4 more games leading into September? And then after that, they're going to take the ball and run with it? Because think about it. You get those 4 games. You lose those 4 games. I mean, right now, it's 6-game difference, as I mentioned, between the Phillies and the Braves for first place in the National League East. Phillies had a great opportunity to not only tell the Braves, yeah, you're not winning this division in this series. They also had a great opportunity in this series to tell the Braves, you're not even making the wild card. We won't even see you in the postseason. And they squandered that opportunity. And it's extremely frustrating. It's extremely concerning. And I do not get it's just weird. It's just weird. Just like I make $300 million and it's just weird that I can't hit a baseball. Isn't that weird? No, it's not weird. It sucks. When it's been going what's Trey Turner got now? 29 games since the All-Star break. You're hitting 211 with an on-base percentage of 246. Yeah, that ain't weird. That's terrible. That is concerning. The last thing I needed to hear after that game last night, it's weird. It's just weird, folks. Don't be concerned. It's just weird. It's just weird. Do you know what's weird? It's weird. Isn't it weird? Anyway, that sucks. Phillies now go to Kansas City. For a 3-game series with the Royals before coming back home. And then not this weekend, but next weekend, they got the Braves again. We're having fun. And the Braves, I meant to look at this. I apologize. But the Braves had where do they go next after this? Some joke of a team. No, we got the Nationals. This is fun. We're all having fun here. The Braves on their schedule, after putting the Phillies over their knee. Okay, they got the Twins. Twins are a good ball club. So they got the Nationals for 3, and then they go to Minnesota for 3. Then they come to Philadelphia for 4. Then Colorado, Toronto, Washington. 4-game set with the Dodgers still on their docket. 3-game set with the Mets, and then they end the season with a 3-game series against the Royals. So that's looking far down the line. But up next for the next 6 games, they got 3 against Washington at home, and then 3 in Minnesota against the Twins. The Twins just snapped a 3-game losing streak with a win over the Padres last night. Was that last night? 2 nights ago. Yeah, because the Padres were playing. Were the Padres playing the Mets last night? Yeah, and they lost 8-3 to the Mets. So we're all having fun. We're all having a great time. We'll get to the full game. I can't talk any more baseball right now because my head's going to explode. But I got to get something positive. I have to make sure I get into something positive. So yesterday, moseying around, and I see some fantastic news. I get the alert because you got to have your alert set when it comes to Adam Schefter, always. Good old Shefty. And Shefty puts it out there that the Philadelphia Eagles have agreed to terms on trade with the Commanders for Jahan Dotson and a 5th-round pick they get in the 2025 NFL draft. And they get they give away a 3rd-round pick and a 7th-round pick from the 2025 NFL draft as well. So next year's NFL draft. So Eagles gave away a 3rd and a 7th to get a number 3 wide receiver in Jahan Dotson that's got 4.43 speed. Was a first-round pick, obviously, of the Washington Commanders. And oddly enough, that pick at one point belonged to the Eagles before it went to 3 other teams following the Carson Wentz trade. So Howie gets his own guy back, his own pick back, essentially. The man's a genius. I go back to, I can't think, the last time I was this excited about a Philadelphia Eagles offense. The last time I was this excited. And even in the Chip Kelly year, where everyone was like, oh, this offense is going to be incredible. I was like, I need to see this. I'm not sold. And I saw it. I was like, this is awesome. And then it was really only one half of football that you really saw the real Chip Kelly Oregon offense. But the last time I was this excited to see an offense was T.O. And that was just one guy coming into the fold. It's like, hold on a second. You're not just going to have Todd Pinkston running fly routes anymore? Oh, this is interesting. I was so stoked. And I know any one of you that were a big Eagles fan, even in that time, to see that T.O. was going to be an Eagle. Like we had heard about it, like, oh, but could it really happen? And then it was like, oh my God, it all went to the Ravens. Oh my God, he's an Eagle. Oh, they need an arbiter? What? This is bull. They're going to lose this. And then it's like, hold on a second. All this cost the Eagles was Brandon Whiting? And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. You finally got that number one guy. And then when the preseason actually mattered somewhat, oh man, Donovan throwing that deep ball to T.O. against the Ravens? Yeah. At Lincoln Financial Field on the first play of the game. For as much as a guy that while he was coaching or in press conferences, Andy Reid just came off as a complete jerk a lot of times. Every once in a while, he'd really understand the pulse of the fan base. Be like, all right, let's let it rip. Everyone knows we know what everyone came to see. 99 seams. See you later. And a touchdown, Philadelphia Eagles. That was, oh man. I just cancel the rest of the preseason. Let's just get this party going. And that was unreal. That was absolutely unreal that whole season. And yeah. That's the last time I was this pumped about what an offense could do. Because let's think about this for a second. Let's just start with the coordinator spots. And I know the Eagles still have one preseason game left, and we'll get to that for tomorrow. But Howie has done an incredible job. And I've joked about this before, but it is true. It's a lot more fun when GMs are morons and coaches are morons. Yeah. But Howie Roseman, it was a lot more fun to talk about Howie Roseman a couple years ago than it is right now, where he's a freaking brilliant man. And I look at this offense and I'm just amazed by it. The Eagles lost a Hall of Fame center, and they have a guy ready to go. Like I've talked about before with Cam Jurgens. I got every ounce of confidence from a physical standpoint he could do what Jason Kelce did. Every bit of confidence. When it comes to the other aspect, the mental aspect of the game, communication aspect of the game, that's what I need to see. I got a lot of confidence in Mekhi Becton playing right guard. And if something happens there, I think Tyler Steen, at the time he's called upon to play, hopefully that's a couple of weeks, if at the earliest. No ill will on Mekhi Becton, but if something goes down, I think he'll have enough time to actually heal up, and when he plays right guard, he'll be okay. And then really all that confidence doesn't even come from the players as much as it comes from, Jeff Stoutland. Hey, the Eagles just brought this guy off the scrap heap. He's got a week with Jeff Stoutland. Oh, so he's a Hall of Famer now? Okay, cool. Like, I feel pretty great about this Eagles offensive line. I look at the backfield. We talked about turning the page from last year to this year. When the Eagles, and I've said this before, but it's so true. When the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley, it helped me tremendously. In my grieving process, it expedited the process. You know what I mean? In terms of just, I can't wait for next year. Saquon Barkley being here, everything you've seen in this training camp, everything you've seen in this in the preseason, with obviously not Jalen Hurts, but Kenny Pickett and Tanner McKee being able to throw out of the backfield to running backs, how that's a part of the game. How brilliant, how novel, how incredibly smart. And I'm listening to this and I'm watching this throughout the preseason, throughout training camp, and I'm going, this is something special. If you really are just taking what the defense is giving you, then that turnover concern that we had is going to go away rather quickly. if you're not, as I like to say, putting the precious pigskin in peril. And that was the concern with the Kellen Moore offense. Oh, Dak Prescott had his interception problems. Is it going to happen to Jalen Hurts after already having a year with interception problems? Is tush push going to still be a thing? I like the tush push. The only time I don't like the tush push is it's like first and goal from the 1-inch line. Just give it to a running back. I don't want Jalen Hurts' head going over the star. I just don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's unnecessary. That's where you just give it to a running back. It's just go that way and all right, cool. You take the hit, So that's going to be part of it. And it's amazing to me. One of the best things about watching the preseason is that you're not showing your good stuff. You're saving that. I just watched Nick Foles yesterday on with Chris Long talking about how they almost used Philly special against the Vikings in the NFC Championship game, but they didn't. Instead, I think what did you say? He just threw a touchdown to Alshon. It was like, that was that. They were good. Well, the Eagles aren't showing anything, just like nobody's showing anything in the preseason. And here I am simply watching basic motion, pre-snap motion from Kellen Moore. And I'm like, this is incredible. And my first thought is they're showing this only because I'm so used to the Eagles not doing it. That even when you see the slightest motion, I'm like, they're a man. Oh, nobody's going with them. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is brilliant. Why are you showing this now? Oh, no, this isn't that special. This is just motion. That's like, I'm blown away by it. But that little tweak to the game is, I think, going to open up so many doors for this Eagles offense. Not to mention the talent. You're opening doors for real talented guys to walk through and capitalize on those opportunities. Thanks again, Howie. And now with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, you bring in Jahan Dotson and add him to the mix? First off, I'm excited that he's not going to have another, 10-catch, 108-yard game against the Eagles with a touchdown. He's not going to have another 9-catch game against the Eagles and a touchdown. Thank you. I find it odd that he fell out of favor there, but the Eagles had a big, gaping hole at the wide receiver 3 position. And then they went out there and they brought in Jahan Dotson. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Fits the typical mold of a quick slot guy at 5'11", speedy. Can certainly take that 10-yard slant and take it an extra 30, 40 yards to the house. What's your next question? Is it a backup tight end? What? My man Jenkins looking pretty damn good in the preseason. They released a veteran yesterday, 2 days ago now. Kept him. He's the number one guy I'm going to be watching. I am overwhelmed with joy when thinking about what Howie Roseman has done in this offseason. And then, not done yet. Howie always had, it was around this time that you even 2 years ago got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Well, 3 years ago, I guess. 2 years ago. Got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Howie does that bird's eye view of the practice field and goes, where and what can I improve upon? Wide receiver 3, nobody's emerging. John Ross didn't help himself by not being on the same page as Kenny Pickett. Hey, maybe it was Kenny Pickett's fault. I don't know. But John Ross, where's the football? In that first possession against the Patriots. Nobody's stepping up and taking the reins. So Howie went out there and said, I got you. There's so much potential there for this Philadelphia Eagles team, as obviously. There's so much potential there. And I hate being this optimistic going into a season. And I hate applauding the Eagles for everything they've done so far in this offseason. But it still lingers over my head a little bit last year. And it won't really and truly go away. Went away a little bit, as I mentioned, with Saquon Barkley becoming a Philadelphia Eagle. It's not going to fully go away until I see the Eagles control a football game. And do that with great regularity. But it's not going to fully go. You throw one touchdown pass to A.J. Brown to open up the game, or Saquon Barkley has a big touchdown run against the Packers in Brazil. And, what collapse? It's going to turn that page real quick. But I can't help but to be smitten with what I look at on paper for this Philadelphia Eagles team. I do look forward to seeing what Kellen Moore brings to the table and all, as I've mentioned. Obviously, the defensive side of the football, I've said it many times, the linebacking crew, that whole unit has really jumped off not just the paper, but jumped off the field to me, and just in terms of being excited to watch that. And I can't remember the time I was excited to watch Philadelphia Eagles linebackers in a preseason. But I am now. And I'll be looking forward to watching that as well, coming up in preseason game number 3. I would assume that Bryce Huff won't be out there this time. I would assume that Devin White won't be out there. I would assume Zach Ballin won't be out there. I think you're going to see a lot. Nakobe Dean maybe not even out there. You're going to see a lot of Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and you're going to see a lot of Ben Bonsumarin. That's what you're going to see coming up against the Minnesota Vikings Saturday, 1 o'clock tomorrow, 1 o'clock at Lincoln Financial Field. That's what you're going to see. So, yeah. All right, real quick. Let me run through this yesterday. I was really hoping I could put this off, but this is as far as I can put it off. So, to go back to Phillies. Yesterday in Atlanta, Christopher Sanchez labored mightily through 6 innings. But when it was all said and done, it's still a quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs. Were there some pitches he wants back? I'm sure there were a lot of pitches that he wants back. 9 hits in the game yesterday. He used 95 pitches to get through 6 innings. For reference, he threw 99 and got 9 innings in his last outing. I had highlighted for you guys Christopher Sanchez was terrible against the Cubs following his complete game shutout of the Marlins. But I went back and I looked at his 90-plus pitch outings, and after that, he bounced back for the most part rather well. Did not bounce back well when he gave up 7 runs against the Cubs following his complete game shutout. So I wanted to see how he was going to do against following his complete game coming out here against the Braves. Labored is how I would describe it, but did give the Phillies quality. Held the Braves to 3 runs, and the Phillies offense had nothing after that. If I could change 3 things, if I could somehow change a couple of things, not including putting Alec Boehm out there, just going with what Rob Thompson had, Weston Wilson is done at third. That's number 1. Weston Wilson at third base yesterday, and I am rooting so hard for the guy, and I have talked to, we played it for you yesterday, Bryce Harper talking about how Weston Wilson is going to have a big impact on this club and all that, and I know that Rob Thompson said that Weston Wilson is going to get his at-bats, and that's all great, and you could have Austin Hayes back in the Phillies lineup tonight for the 8-10 start time against the Kansas City Royals against Michael Waka Waka Waka. So you see that, and I'm excited that you're going to at least get another bat back in the lineup, or at least bat back on the bench in Austin Hayes, because any bat that has ever hit at the major league level, I'm happy to have at this point. But if Rob Thompson's plan to get Weston Wilson more ABs is have him be a potential third baseman, let's not do that. He's played third base at the major league level 1 other time. In the last year, going back to 2023, he played third base, started 6 games at third base for the Iron Pigs. Previous to that, he played a lot of third base, believe it or not. And last night, I'm watching Weston Wilson at third, and I go, oh, he's at third. That's interesting. Marcelo Zuna, first inning, tests him immediately, scolds a 2-bouncer to him at third, goes right over Weston Wilson's mitt and leg and goes into left field for what was ruled a base hit. Then in the 3rd inning, Whit Merrifield, of all people, decides, hey, you know what? I'm going to lay down a bunt because I know Weston Wilson ain't fielding this. Lays down the bunt perfectly. Weston Wilson, I don't know what to do with that baseball. And then 4th inning, he tries to charge. It was a bouncer from off the bat of Murphy. Tries to charge it, goes right under his mitt beautifully into left field for a base hit. Then in the 6th inning, actually made a good pick on Urshela, a similar play. He actually got that one, so credit where credit's due on that play. So far, we're 1 for 4, excuse me. Then in the 7th inning, he double clutches on a Matt Olson grounder hit towards him. I don't know if you forgot how many outs there were, but he double clutched. There was a runner on first. There's 2 outs. Ball's hit to him. He turns and looks at second base initially, and he does one of these. does one of those, and he's like, oh, I just go to first base. Throws first base, gets the out, side's retired. Weston Wilson at third base. August is not the time to experiment. August is certainly not the time to experiment. But here we are, experimenting. That was one thing about last night's game. Then it comes down to just the hitting overall. Phillies got one run in the first inning. Nick Castellanos had an RBI ground. I believe that's 5 out of the Phillies' last 9 games that Nick Castellanos has somehow gotten you your first run of the game. So the Phillies jump out. They get a 1-0 lead in the first inning and thinking, all right, here we go. You got Kyle Schwarber getting a walk. All right, he's let it off with a walk. Trey Turner grounded a 4-6 fielder's choice, so he's saved it first. Bryce Harper steps up and gets a single. So now you got runners on first and third with 1 out. All right, let's go. Castellanos gets the run in there with the ground out to 5-4 fielder's choice. And then Bryson Stott pops out to third. All right, that kills that. Game goes on. The Braves get a couple of runs there in the second inning on the RBI ground rule double by Urshela. Makes it a 1-1 game. Then in the third inning, Olsen gets the RBI double off the wall in right field. That was after the leadoff bunt by Whit Merrifield. And then the Phillies offense just really couldn't do much. Duvall gets the home run off Sanchez. Sanchez started the sixth inning at 85 pitches. He got a 2-0 sinker out over the middle of the plate that he crushed 421 feet. So that was the third run of the game there for the Braves. Phillies go down 3-1. Phillies have an opportunity to do something. They at least get a run in the seventh inning. Harper goes up there, pops out to short. Castellanos strikes out. Bryson Stott with 2 outs puts one off Schwellenbach's glove. Schwellenbach can't find it. It dribbles away from him towards short. Bryson Stott busts it down the line. All of a sudden, you got a 2-out base runner in Bryson Stott. Very next pitch, very next batter, JT Realmuto steps up to the plate, slaps one into the gap for an RBI double. It's a 3-2 ball game. Let's go. They take Schwellenbach out. They bring in Johnson. Brandon Marsh, strike 3, sits down on a curveball. Go to the ninth inning. Or should we go to the eighth inning? Phillies have another opportunity here after Weston Wilson leads off with a strikeout. Cal Stevenson gets the call over Johan Rojas. He works a walk. You got a 1-out base runner. Well, look at that. Then Kyle Schwarber works a walk after a 3-2 count. Now you got runners on first and second with 1 out. Oh, my goodness gracious. Something could happen. And then you know what's weird? You know what's so weird? Is that you had runners on first and second with the top of the order coming up. Trey Turner, runner on first and second. You know what's weird? Trey Turner didn't get a hit there. He's like a good ball player. No, he didn't get a hit. Isn't that weird? No, it sucks. And he grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. End of the inning. End of the threat. Phillies still trailing 3-2. And wouldn't you know it? That's the way it ended. 14 strikeouts. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper in 3 games. Let me just rattle off the list just for my own sanity because it helps me focus in my Family Guy idiot brain that I have. For those that did not know, Spencer Strider, Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley. For the year, Sean Murphy, Michael Harris, Ozzie Albies. These are all guys that are missing significant time this season. And the Braves are 6 games out. Phillies missed Trey Turner for a month and a half, but Edmundo Sosa was incredible. Phillies missed JT Realmuto for a month, a little bit more. And in that time, actually, Garrett Stubbs and Rafael Marchand, both of them, Marchand especially, actually did well in the lineup. It feels like all the magic from this Phillies season is gone. And look, the only way you win that magic back is by winning. The only way you get it back is by winning. And there is nothing really that will boost confidence. Nothing that can be said that will boost confidence. The only way you do it is you go out there and you hit. and those batting averages since the All-Star break that I rattled off for you, that ain't going to cut it, man. And if you're going into the postseason with that is a huge concern. So I don't know if you're an eternal optimist, maybe you're looking at it as, oh, look, the Phillies they just suck right now, but they'll break out of it, and then they'll be hot in September and go into the playoffs with that hot. Don't you want that to happen? All right, well, let's take a look at that for a second. You got Kansas City for 3. Then you got Houston for 3. Then Atlanta for 4. Then you go on the road for 6. 2 in Toronto, 4 in Miami. Then you end the season against Tampa. You got 3 against Tampa. Then you host the Mets for 3. Go to Milwaukee for 3. Go to New York to face the Mets for 4. And then host the Cubbies for 3 before going to D.C. for the Nationals for a 3-game series. So at least you end the season against the Nationals. But you have 4 now left against the Braves. You got 7 left against the Mets. And the Marlins you have a 4-game series with, and they're just always a thorn in your side. But Kansas City, good baseball team. Houston, good baseball team. Braves, somehow, with playing interns who are like minoring in economics, that's who they're playing for a 4-game series against the Braves in Philly. And then Toronto's been struggling. And then Miami, again, throwing in your side. Tampa, Mets, playing good baseball. Since London, they've been playing good baseball. How about that? I thought you go to London and you suck. No, you're fine. And then the Cubs and the Nationals. You having fun yet? Or you having fun? I'm having a great time. You having a blast? I'm having a blast. Anyone else having a great time? You having fun? You having fun? No? Okay. Not having fun. Let me tell you about the Game Time app, ladies and gentlemen. Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. And let's not forget about the amazing features on the Game Time app and all they have going on. How about Game Time Picks? Game Time Picks is absolutely incredible. You know what that does? That cuts down on all the noise. So you can just see the absolute best deals on the absolute best tickets that you buy on the Game Time app. Download the account, download the app, create an account, use promo code Farzy, and get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. They have last-minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals, even ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. So let's say you're going to a concert. Let's say you're going to a comedy show. You might miss the opening act. You might miss the middle, but you'll see that headliner that you love at a great discounted rate. Speaking of discounts, how about this? All-in pricing. You toggle that feature on the Game Time app, and there's no sticker shock at the end. You see the final cost up front. How do these $20 tickets become $35? What? No, you see it. You just toggle that option on the Game Time app, and you know exactly what you're buying before you buy it. And you can also view your seat before you purchase it. So you take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app. Use promo code Farzy, that's F-A-R-Z-Y, on the Game Time app and get $20 off your first purchase. Game Time app. How about PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. And how about our friend Brett over at Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. Before I get to the chat check, hit me up with what you guys are looking for in preseason game number 3. I'm looking for a lot of Tanner McKee. I'm looking for a lot of E.J. Jenkins making his presence known as a tight end. I'm looking for Joseph Nada making things happen as a wide receiver for this squad. Continued offensive line depth to do their thing. And I want to see my man Jeremiah Trotter making himself some plays. And why not Ben Von Sumeren as well? Maybe another pick from Avonte Maddox. Maybe he plays. I don't know. I know a lot of people say that Reed Blankenship won his spot in that preseason game number 3. I think he already had a spot. I think he certainly solidified it in preseason game number 3 last year. It is going to be weird. 1 o'clock kickoff at the link. It's going to be crazy. It's going to feel weird. Packed day is Saturday. 1 o'clock. On Locked On Sports Philadelphia after the 1 o'clock kickoff against Vikings. I'll be on doing the postcast, Eagles postcast. Okay. Then, right after that, the Phillies play at 7:05, I believe it is, against Kansas City Royals. So it'll be a 2 postcast day. The double dip. It'll be a long day, but a good day. Okay. Let's get to. Oh, first I got to show you this. This is what the Eagles tweeted out yesterday. Just, it's weird. I've never been more excited about the Eagles. Well, I haven't been as excited about the Eagles offense since T.O. But other than that, I haven't been this excited. I don't think I've ever been this excited about a wide receiver 3 option. Like, your GM's doing a great job when you're applauding the deep depth chart moves. And that's not even, wide receiver 3 is going to play, obviously. But it's just like, it's not a number 1 guy. It's not a number 2 guy. It's a number 3 guy. Oh, you're excited? Oh, you get a stud wide receiver? Well, I wouldn't mean he's not a stud. I'll just get a solid number 2. He's good. He could be a number 2 on a lot of teams. But like, so where is he with you? He's number 3. Okay. All right. Thank you, Howie. All right, let's get into the chat check. See how you guys are doing this. Fine. Friday morning. Good morning, Friday morning. April, good morning. What's happening? Look at this bright and early start time. Yeah, I think I was 26 minutes late. After 6, it was 6:26 that we started the show today. I did have to reboot once. Jason A, good morning. What's popping? How you doing? So hyped for this Dotson trade. Such a smart move. Yeah, it's clutch. April. E-Rock is sending out Howie for president signs. You just have to DM him. You got one in the mail? Oh, that's great. Oh, in your email. Okay, that makes more sense. That is awesome. I love E-Rock. It's my man. IBH, good morning, everyone. Good morning, IBH. Sean Kilrain, what's popping? I'll be on with Sean Kilrain Monday. Don't miss it, 6 o'clock. Jason A, what's going on? There is a conspiracy that anyone who goes to Devontae Smith's celebrity baseball game becomes an Eagle through trade, and Dotson was there previous years. Players too, I forgot which the other ones. Huh. I did know that Dotson participated. He's a Nazareth kid, Penn State kid. He did not overlap with Saquon Barkley. His freshman year, I think, was Saquon's rookie year in the NFL. I think that's how that works. He did play with Miles Sanders. Not that Miles is here anymore. But, yeah. All right. Is Howie at the softball game? I want to know if Howie's at the softball game. Is Howie allowed to go to the softball game? Hey, man, how you doing? You want to play for the Eagles? April, I work with the public. I hear stupid-ish every day. So I have to hit it one more time. Just let's refresh it. Courtesy of NBC Sports Philadelphia, exactly what I didn't want to hear after the Phillies lost 2 or 3 to the
all of us in general. It's kind of weird that we're all struggling at the same time. Normally, when you have a good lineup, some guys here or there, but it's kind of weird that a lot of us are there.
So how do you look at that? Is that like a concern for you guys with 35 games to play? Or?
I don't think it's a concern. It's more weird, for us. I don't think it's anything, we're necessarily doing wrong. We're preparing. We do all our stuff we normally do. We're, having fun. We got a good mindset. We're just not clicking. And, there's still time left. Obviously, we want to play well. But, it's starting to get to that, point in the season where it's play well or go home type deal. And I don't think we're under any stress or pressure or anything like that. But more so, we just want to play well. We know what we're capable of, and we expect it out of ourselves.
So 3 weirds. It's weird. So weird. Isn't it weird? So weird. No, you know what's weird? Surrounding perfectly good chocolate chips with mint ice cream. That's weird. That was just for you, April. What is happening? There we go. All right. T-Bro! What's happening, man? Sean Gillespie, those eyes, weird. Yeah. April loves seeing the younger core. That's good. What's cool? It's too much anymore. Maybe they don't want the bye week. Phillies just love the wild card, it seems. and crawling into the playoffs. That would be funny if the Phillies were like, yeah, let's crawl back into our natural habitat, the wild card, where we feel more comfortable. Oh, God, expectations? Not expectations. Anyway, I don't know what this was. I don't know. Anyway, honestly, they don't deserve the division with this kind of collapse, as Jason A. E-Money Bentley. What's up, E-Money? Go Birds. Go Birds. James Alexander. Chip Kelly dismantled the entire franchise. He's still. Yeah. Fuji. What's up, Fuji? Friday, Mark. There you go. And good peeps. Surprise cuts. I was thinking about that. I don't see any like, oh my God, they cut that guy. I think the Eagles are pretty set with their starting 22. Anybody? Happy Football Friday. Yeah. Oh, did I read that wrong, Sean? The trade? Yeah. Thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motorcars, SkyMotorcars.com. All right. Phillies back at it tonight. 8:10 start time. Taijuan Walker is slated to make the start. I'm crossing my fingers that somehow Ranger Suarez gets bumped up. Just because I really don't want to watch Taijuan Walker throw baseballs. But yeah, that's going to happen. Taijuan Walker is going to throw baseballs probably, right? But yeah, he's going against Michael Wacha. That's the way that looks for this evening. Wacha has had himself a nice little stretch run. He's coming off a win against Cincinnati Reds, where he went 6 innings, allowing no runs on 4 hits. Over his last 4 starts, he's gone at least 6 innings, allowing no more than 2 runs. And he's allowed 2 home runs over those 4 games. So, yeah, that's who the Phillies got tonight. The veteran righty, 33-year-old Michael Wacha, who is 10-6 with a 3.33 ERA coming into the game. Taijuan Walker, I could just say he sucks, but let me give you some numbers. 3-4 on the season with a 5.69 ERA. Nice. And against the Washington Nationals, he went 4 2/3. 2 home runs in that one. 3 earned runs. Labored in that one. He has not had a start where he's gone more than 4 innings. Excuse me, 5 innings. Since, and I know he was on the IL, but June 15th. So bullpen, be ready. You're going to get some work in with Taijuan Walker on the hill tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is The Farzy Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to The Farzy Show. Make sure you like and subscribe to Jacob Media. Make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Yours truly will be on tonight after their 8:10 start time against the Royals. Locked On Sports Philadelphia. And then Saturday, oh my goodness gracious, what an action-packed day. Eagles at 1. Phillies at 7:10. So don't miss that one. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'll have postcasts for you guys on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. So don't miss that either. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is The Farzy Show. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on The Farzy Show. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Jacob Media. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on Locked On Sports Philadelphia. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys tonight after Phillies Royals. And then again, double dip with the postcast on Saturday. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Bye.